So now your moths have hatched, how do we process the empty cocoons? First thing we need to do is remove what's inside the cocoon, which is the empty pupa shell and the old caterpillar skin. First thing we do is cut the cocoon lengthways. Then we remove the middle like so, giving you an empty cocoon. Here's the waste that I've removed from all the cocoons. Cut enough cocoons until you filled a small saucepan. Use an old enamel saucepan. Do not use your best saucepans. Buy something second-hand from the charity shop, preferably enamel. You will need soda crystals and distilled white vinegar. You need an old fork and a pair of heavy-duty rubber gloves, some kitchen towel and an old glazed plate. Heat a tablespoon of the soda crystals into your saucepan with cold water and just put a drop of washing up liquid in. Then put it on the heat and bring to a gentle simmer. Cocoons a few at a time and just push them down very gently with your fork until you've got them all into the water and submerged. Simmer very, very gently for about 20 minutes, turning them over occasionally using your fork. Notice how the colour of the water is changing as the sericin, which is the colour of the cocoons, dissolves into the water. To turn over, put your fork in right underneath, lift and pop back in again. Don't stir them. After about 20 minutes of cooking up, it's ready for tipping out into the sink. Cold water into your saucepan and then lift the silk up with your fork and put it into that water. Don't touch it with your bare hands, and it would be advisable, if you're not sure, to put gloves on at this point. Don't get the soda or the fluid onto your bare skin. Once you've rinsed a few times, into your saucepan put 10% white vinegar with 90% cold water, then place your silk into the pan, prod it occasionally and leave it to stand for a good 10 minutes. Turn it over now and again, like you did before, lift it up, turn it over. The acid of the white vinegar will neutralise the alkaline of the washing soda and it will put a shine back onto your silk. Once it's been soaking for about 10 minutes, you can tip it out and rinse again in cold water 3 or 4 times as you did before. You can now actually touch this with your bare hands, it's absolutely fine. And there it is, all cleaned. Now, because I've used strongly coloured cocoons from my own hybrids, some of that colour has actually stayed within the silk. The colour is UV unstable, so will actually fade. The silk itself is still white. You need to squeeze this out as best you can. Get an old towel, put it in the old towel and stand on it to really get all the moisture out you can. Then place it onto some kitchen towel and put it somewhere where it can dry. Somewhere very warm and hot. I'm going to put this into my polytunnel. Here's outside in the polytunnel where it's nice and warm, where I'm just going to leave it to dry. And here it is, 24 hours later, all dried and finished. So each individual one of those, which was one cocoon, can quite easily just be pulled apart into something that you can just spin straight away from. No need to do any more processing, that's ready to go. Now, because I've used these cocoons with the very strong colours to them, not all of it's washed out in the silk, so you get this really pretty coloured silk. Unfortunately, it will continue to fade, but I actually quite like this sort of more creamy looking silk than the bright white if you use the uncoloured cocoons. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video and the silk that the moths have produced. Please feel free to comment or ask me any questions. Happy spinning.